I got a job with Team for Justice. It was jail and prison work. But before that, I went to work for the Pinto Project. You know what Pinto Project is? It's a program for prisoners and people coming out of prison. So I got a job dealing with the Chicano prisoners coming out of Jackson. And one of the things that happened in that time was what I was supposed to do was find prisoners jobs. So they get out of. I get a referral from the Lansing office of Pinto. They send them to my little one-person office in Detroit, and I'm supposed to help them find jobs. And there was jobs to be found then. So I mean, if there's jobs, you can do it. And it was a pretty good time for that. And it was like around now 81. I think it's around 1981. And Gilbert had gotten killed in 77 in February. And I had gone through the trial and all of the, all of the, it was really, that was actually, I had to identify the bodies and go to the, I went to court and watched, the guy get sentenced who had shot him. And they gave him a manslaughter charge. He shot 3 people and killed 2, and he got manslaughter. It's what it's like when you kill drug dealers. It was like an internal war. And so I'm working at the Pinto Project, and I got a referral for this guy. He came to my office. He got out, and he came to my office. And when I looked at the paperwork just in advance of him getting there, I was like, what? And I was like, I was thinking, like, what do you do here? I hadn't thought about this. Like, I really hadn't thought about it. So he came to the office, and he told me that he had worked on a dock or doing some sort of shipload, like unloading ships, and that if he could find a job doing that he would be cool. And I found him a job doing that, and I never saw him again. That was the end of it. But it was such a amazing moment to me, because I was thinking, like, does he know who I am? Does he remember me? Could he possibly have any idea what an effect he's had on my life and this young woman who was killed in the same raid? And I had to identify them. I identified their bodies. So I saw them. They were bound and gagged and killed. And when I saw him, I just really just wanted him to get a job and have a life. That was the only thing that I was feeling. So I began to really, really sort of get how life is dealt. Like how you just like get dealt this hand, and this is the guy who did that, and I was on the other end of this, and that's the way it went. And I wouldn't have wanted any less for him than I would want for anyone else, for anybody else that I would ever come across. If somebody wants a job, you want them to have a job. Somebody gets out of prison, you want them to just have a life. And that was all I was feeling. That was the only thing I could feel. And I really reflected on it for a long time, because I went through a lot, and it really bothered me how little the criminal is grieved, how little the drug dealer is grieved, how little that person matters to anyone. Like you consider it a public service to kill off a drug dealer, and that's why he got so little time. But he was in the same world. He was exactly equal to my loved one, and he was someone else's loved one. I wouldn't ever want anyone to go through that. And it was really a turning point for me. It was really, really a turning point. I thought, well, this is my work. this is the work that I want to be doing. So I did years of jail and prison work with a very, very strong sense of that idea of what brings us to where we are, of the kinds of life chances that people have. And that was my work for a long time.